Growing up in this small homestead, I mean, it really was very much founded with farming or something like that. So I had the idea that I wanted to become a farmer or a veterinarian. When I came to Carroll, it really was with the idea that I was to become a veterinarian when I came back to Denmark.
I have the impression that it's something that has a big mark in his life, that he actually went to Carroll University and that he lived in the US.
I guess through the first year I had, you know, various courses and I was taking more with both history, which was my major, and predominantly also the political science. And I think part of it, of course, was through my general interest in society and community, and also because I had some very good professors that sort of challenged me in these areas. That's what pushed me in that direction.
He has an international outside to his work.
I had never pictured myself where I am today, being president of one of the really large employer organizations in Denmark. I had my 3 years at Carroll, taking the bachelor in history, and then I had the 5 years at law school. During law school, I was very certain that I did not want to become a lawyer. I wanted to work with law in a more public context. So I had my eyes focused on entering into some of the departments under the ministries in the Danish government. And I wanted to become a career civil servant. I've always been interested in community and how to make things run and people feel a part of the society. The opportunity arose that I could sort of change from being a publicly employed to be employed in the union, and that's a path I chose after a while.
He really tries to avoid conflict, and that's very important when you operate in the field as I do, as Lars do, in a complex political environment.
I represent 28 academic unions, and that means that I am the primary representative in the dealings with government, with the Danish government, and with the Danish employers when it comes to it being librarians, high school teachers, publicly employed lawyers. Denmark is very unionized, and unions are something completely different than in the United States. It's actually looked at with some certain kind of reverence.
Every 2 or 3 years we have these general agreements negotiations. The last time was in 2018, and then we have it now here in 2021. In each of their own way, they had crisis written all over them.
So my job is, of course, to have many meetings with these member organizations, but also representing them in regards to many aspects that we are common on, is wages and the conditions that we work in.
In 2021, of course, we are in the midst, well, we don't know where we are in the pandemic, but one thing was for sure, that these negotiations are very tough because, of course, of the economic crisis, the health crisis that we are in, and he's handled that very well as well.
I find that that's where my talent is. I mean, to reach out to other people and make alliances and get people rooting for the same causes.
It is true that Lars is deeply engaged in the overall conditions for students and workers, and I would say that he's especially engaged in the field of the mental work environment.
We managed for 3 years ago actually to get the legislation that acknowledged saying now the workplaces have to take the same measures to avoid people getting sick from stress as they have to get harm from physical hazard.
Work-life balance is not something that you do in your private life, it's something you also do in your work life. So I think that's some of the more direct results or impacts of his work.
I think my mission has always been to help people be the best they can be.